Hey, everybody, welcome back. I don't know if I can still say mornings with Loretta. I don't have to change the title of the show because it's still morning. Hey, there's a new book by two amazing, young, funny, hilarious comedy writers straight out of late night television. And let me tell you, they take a hilarious look at what it is to be young today. And when I say this is so refreshing, I watched their YouTube video of their Yale graduation, and I have watched it probably 3 to 5 times because every time I catch something different. So let me just go ahead and welcome them to the show. And then we're going to talk about their new book that they sent me a copy of already, and it is amazing. So Rebecca and Ben, welcome to Mornings with Loretta.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Having us, Loretta. We're so excited to be here.
We really are.
You all are on such a ride. I mean, you got things going everywhere at books, TV series. You're out there doing comedy and making the world laugh. So how are you maintaining yourself first? How are you keeping it all together?
What a good question. I think that one really wonderful thing about having my partner in life also be my creative partner, Ben and I have been together for 9 years doing both, is that I think we really get to provide a check on each other. It feels like the day can only ever get too bad when you're there with your really good friend doing it. So,
is that all we are? Really good friends? No, in fact, we're such good friends that Loretta, Rebecca, and I got engaged last week.
That is true.
I mean, like engaged to get married or engaged to do something else? Because I know you two. I can't just take it off the cuff with you.
Engaged to get married. No, it's true.
Yeah.
So you're going to share a last name.
That's a great question. Oh my gosh, and we have to decide here now? What do you think?
I don't know. Let's do it.
Okay, great. Rebecca's taking my name. Or maybe
Now you got to decide whose name you're going to share, right? I know you and Rebecca. I'm not taking anything for granted here. So let me just jump right in here with this conversation because we have a ton to talk about. This book, oh my goodness, just the name, Naked in the Rideshare. And I don't know if that person was physically naked or vulnerable or socially naked or spiritually naked. You can look at that. I'm telling you, all are my kind of people. I'm telling you, there's a huge age difference, but I get you. I see you and I appreciate you.
I feel that connection right back. I really do.
Okay. So what's the inspiration for Naked in the Rideshare?
Well, I think that we really started from this place of our generation has already been through so much with the pandemic and inflation and this and that. And one thing that we've really found with our friends is people really turn to comedy, with meme culture and TikTok. And, I think that one thing we really wanted to do with this book is provide this, place to both lovingly roast, but also sort of embrace our generation.
Absolutely. And I have to say this even when I'm not talking to people of your age, but I'm like, you cannot discount an entire generation because of the experience you had with a few of that generation. Just like you can't say all baby boomers are the best generation in the world ever. Although it's close. I do have to admit it's close because I'm on that cusp. I'm not all the way there, but that's almost a true statement.
Sure.
It's so funny because one thing we really talk about with this book is, Thanksgiving's coming up, obviously, and so much of looking forward to that is looking forward to sitting across the table from people who feel generations apart. But one thing, now that people are starting to read the book and respond to it that we've really been hearing is, as much as the fashions may change and the slang may change, those feelings of coming of age, whether that's, your friend having a new partner and feeling kind of abandoned or feeling nervous at work or, dealing with a friend group in post-grad, those feelings are so universal. And I think when we all get to laugh about them together, what a better way to connect and realize that we're not that different.
I told you, I'm just giddy just sitting here reminiscing about that Yale story and then talking to you in person and knowing that we had all these technical difficulties. Most people would have said, forget it, we'll reschedule or we won't. But you all were determined to make this happen. And that's in my DNA too. So I just feel like we have a huge connection, regardless of the generational divide. So
it's a kinship. We feel a kinship too, and we have to thank our really wonderful crew for we could not have connected on our own, believe me.
Yeah, we've been freaking out by this point, youth like them just running around in the background. So we were so happy to be here with you.
They are the best in the game for sure. So what are some of your favorite stories in your new book, Naked in the Rideshare?
Yeah, there are so many that we love. There's a story about a 20-something kid who reconnects with and ends up being in a romantic partnership with his fairy godmother from childhood, which is just weird and kind of this, if someone could grant your, deepest, darkest wishes when you were in your 20s, like what a existence that would be. So it's wild and funny, but it's also at the end of the day about like how we try to pull things from our childhood into our adulthood and how it kind of taints them and ruins them. So there's kind of a deeper message there too. Or another one that we love is about a couple that met on a show like The Bachelor and one of those reality dating shows, but it's all told from the perspective of their engagement ring, who thinks this is the purest, most magical love it's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I also think we have a few nonfiction pieces as well. One that I really love is called Actual Things Ben's Mother Tells People He Does for a Living. And it's just a list of lies that she's told about what he's really up to.
Not a comedy writer. Yeah, the comedy writer has not made the list. Yeah. But she'll buy the book, I think.
See, I just cannot even keep a smile off my face while I'm talking to you. So how did you get your how did you get your big break? How did that happen? Because you just finished like a 2-year, you're the youngest comedy writers for The Tonight Show. How did that happen? I can imagine they saw your Yale video though.
That is exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. We saw our video. We had been dating and writing together since freshman year of college, but we had the opportunity to do this speech, and we took advantage of it, and it got attention online, and Jimmy saw it and invited us to be a part of his sketch team, which was just the most incredible experience. We owe him truly everything, and the ability to now take what we learned on the show and the voices that we were able to hone and really bring it to this book has just been so much fun.
Yeah, and the fact that he's been able to spotlight the book and that he's showing support for us means the world to us. I mean, talk about a universal experience of your 20s, trying to impress your boss. So the fact that he's still in our corner and will always be in his, it's been a really meaningful relationship to us.
I love that. So before that happened, before I knew you probably always have had to be funny, but were you on track to be like doctors or lawyers or politicians or preachers before that Yale thing just came and totally took you off your career goal that your counselor said you should best fit for? How did that happen?
Oh, totally. I think we both went into college with no real clear sense of what we wanted to do. And I think one of the blessings of finding a partner so early on who really makes you laugh is we got to really realize like, oh, that's all I want to do. I'm spending all my time thinking about, making him laugh and vice versa. We got involved in sketch comedy on campus, and more we were like, oh, this is the thing that really, fills our cup. So it's been such a gift to be able to do it professionally.
Ben, did you want to say something about that? Are you off your track?
I am off a few tracks. Yeah, just ask my mom and read that chapter of the track she imagined for me. But no, it is a really scary thing, I think, when you're trying to follow a passion, and that could look like so many different things. This industry, as we all know, is very uncertain though, and there's not a roadmap for it. So to try to navigate through these like very dense woods, so to speak, with someone else hacking away at the vines around me is a really lucky thing that we get to do it as a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have 2 questions because we only have like a minute or so. So who is Naked in the Rideshare for? And what's the title? What does your title, Naked in the Rideshare, mean? And then one last question.
Yeah, you got it. So we set out to write what we call a Frisbee book, which is, have you ever read one of those books where it's like, oh, this chapter is so good, this story is so good, or even this line, such that you dog-ear the page and Frisbee it across the living room or the beach to your mom, your aunt, your friend. We want to write a book like that, that's sort of just infectious, and oh, you have to read this chapter. This is exactly you on the page. So we really think it's for everyone, even though it's about being young right now. Everyone's been young. And the title...
The title, we wanted to capture that feeling of, being in your 20s, trying to find your footing in the adult world and just feeling totally underprepared. So we always describe it as like being in the back of an Uber pool and looking around and realizing everyone's in business casual and being like, oh my God, I forgot my pants. Just being totally unprepared for the real world and not totally sure how everyone else got so prepared.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I promise, because I want you to come back though. Will you come back and we can share some more?
Well, this has been so fun. Yeah.
And if you ever get close to the South, even if you're naked in the rideshare, please stop by the studio so we can do this in person. Last question. Where can everybody get a copy of Naked in the Rideshare?
Wherever books are sold, Amazon, HarperCollins website, your favorite local bookstore. We should have it everywhere, and we're excited for you to read it.
November 14th.
Yep.
Yay, I already have a copy. So that means I'm so special. I'm so special and I love it. All right. This has been incredible. I'm so glad that we were so tenacious about making it happen. Shout out to your team there. Kudos to you all, Rebecca and Ben. I know we didn't even talk about all the projects, but I did mention them in the intro that you got Will Ferrell and Michael B. Jordan and everybody working with you. So I got to wear sunglasses because your future is incredibly bright. Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you for having us. It means a lot to us.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. So let me tell you, that was worth the wait, right? Let me hear your comments and let me tell you, once I get past the name of the book, I got to tell you, because I'm one of those people that I'm like just want to make sure I do everything right, that I'm not offending the masses and it doesn't offend my faith. But once you get past the word naked, and it's all how you perceive that word, if you're going to pick this book up. But if you pick it up, regardless of the title or that word or whatever, if you're the young, older generation, this book is hilarious. It is sharing some things that happen in a rideshare that are real life experience, and some may have been a little embezzled for the laugh factor. But when I say the work that they're doing and where they are going, so they are a writing team whose first pilot, a generational ensemble comedy, is in the works at FX and is being executive produced by Nick Kroll. And their second series sold to Peacock this year, and Will Ferrell is the executive producer. And their third series is in development with Ryan Reynolds. So it's taken off like crazy. And they've been working on it. And then congratulations, they're engaged. And I know there's so much chemistry. I was wondering if they were a little more than friends when I saw, because their chemistry and their timing is like effortless. And I knew it had to be more than that, but I'm so happy for them. They truly are a joy to behold. Their talent is crazy, and they were prepared for the opportunities that found them. So the lesson learned is you never know who's watching. Even if it's 5 people watching, of that 5, it could be somebody that's attached to like a studio head, an executive producer, or if it's music, Quincy Jones label or something. You never know. So always make sure you're doing your best work. You're working in excellence. You're giving it your all. You're not quitting too soon, because quitting too soon is always too soon for me, and in my experiences. So I just want to say thank you for hanging with us. I'm glad that they were adamant about making sure that they were able to do the interview with me. That made my day, because they valued, and they're doing tons of TV. They're on all the national major networks sharing about their book. They were on the Tonight Show for a couple of years with Jimmy Fallon and so many other people. And I was reading Nick Kroll, how he summed it up. Jimmy Fallon, Will Ferrell. I mean, big names in comedy and movies and Netflix and Peacock and FX TV network. So they're the couple to watch. They are definitely and so humble and kind and generous with their time. So as you all are who watch my show, and you hang in there with me, I'm so gracious and thankful and grateful about all of that. So I've already played the opening, so we'll have to do some work in editing for this, because I think everybody who watches it will do like I've been doing, smiling the entire time. And it's good for your cheekbones. Look, it's so good for smiling and laughter. It's good for the soul. Anyway, no matter what you're going through, there is joy if you choose it. And I know life is hard, especially this time of year. I'm praying for you. I'm cheering you on. You're not alone, and you can do it. Yes, you can. If God put it in your heart and your soul, it could be done. You just cannot quit. You cannot give up. Please don't give up. Call somebody. And if you can't call, find somebody to talk to. What works for me is prayer. It is my go-to. And I do call my friends too, and they call me, but prayer seems to be my superpower in faith. And then just knowing that I have these 5 amazing sons. You know, I have those 5 amazing sons, and I want to win for them, because I don't want to think that quitting and giving up is an option. And they see me do it, and now they want to quit too. Nope, they see me persevering. They see me dedicated. They see me working hard, even when there seems to be very little payoff, and they watched it all their lives. So that's why they're amazing. And then prayer, of course, me praying for them and God being so gracious to us all. I can't take any credit for those guys. They're just my everything. They are. And you all, I don't even call you fans, you're family to me. So when you see me out, like so many people do, please say hi. Please say hi. And let's get a selfie and let's post it. But anyway, let's stay connected. Let's stay positive. Let's dream big dreams. And of course, let's help others to do the same. Bye-bye, everybody.
Your life lit today.